Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. January is Radon Awareness Month, and so I asked Rachael Dolan to join us today.
Hello, everybody.
She owns Valley Radon and is a subject matter expert, so who better to educate us?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Excited to be here.
So we're going to kind of jump into it and try and keep the information pretty high level. So we'll include some websites you guys can go and do your own research later, and of course you're welcome to reach out to either one of us if you have questions. So Rachael, what is radon?
Radon is a radioactive cancer-causing gas that you cannot see, smell, or taste. It's present in every home. The question is how much? As radon comes up from the decay of uranium in rock and soil, what happens is our homes act like a negative pressure system. So it's drawing that radon inside our homes, kind of like a slow working vacuum. And as that effect takes place, and we keep all of our doors and windows closed as we're in the winter months, typically it's more common for us to see doors and windows stay closed. As that radon intrudes our home, that concentration then begins to build, and that can add up to harmful levels to where that can cause a multitude of issues with the health.
What kind of health concerns are we talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So it can cause chest pain, bronchitis, asthma. Over time, it can cause lung cancer.
Wow.
It's known to be one of the leading environmental causes of cancer. It is responsible for 21,000 deaths in the US alone every year, which, if you think about it, lung cancer is actually one of the leading causes of cancer deaths overall.
So are there any specific features or conditions in a home that might increase radon exposure?
Yes, absolutely. So as we start looking at our house from an outside perspective, we either have a traditional crawl space or we have a basement scenario where those two types of foundations are going to give us different levels of radon, as well as location in our homes for where they're located. For us, we're located here in Salem, Oregon, where we are more likely to see elevated levels of radon in West or South Salem. Now, that's not to say that we don't see them in other areas. We just find a lot more elevated readings in those areas. But why? Mm-hmm. So ultimately, when we do have larger rock formations, when West Salem and South Salem are built more on hill structures, we do see that a lot more, as well as those basement scenarios. Crawl space vents for homes that do have traditional crawl spaces. As it's winter time, it's a traditional winter practice for us to close those crawl space vents. Now, when we close those vents, it changes the way our house breathes. So as that radon is coming up, we're not allowing it any room to escape through those crawl space vents. There's no natural dilution there. So where else does it have to go but inside?
It's into the living spaces.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it sounds like it would make sense for everybody to be testing their homes for radon.
I firmly believe that everybody should test their home. There are several resources available to where we can find maps for radon. And if you look at our Willamette Valley, we are actually in what's considered to be a moderate area. Now, moderate can be anywhere from 2 picocuries of liter per air up to a 3.9. If that's the moderate area, that means Oregon's average is 2.8, so that means every house really should be tested for radon just to even know what your levels are, know where you're starting at.
So what is involved with testing? What does that process look like?
So it's very simple. We like to make things as easy as possible as we can for not only our clients, we also work with plenty of real estate agents. We like to see what days and times work best for you, fit that into our schedule as well. Say you have a home inspection, or even, some transactions have shorter timelines, or maybe you're a homeowner who just wants to know what their radon level is. You give us a call, shoot us an email, whatever works easiest for your communication style. We get you on the calendar. We arrive at the home. We set up the testing equipment in the lowest living area. We explain why we chose that location. That way the homeowner has, or the potential homeowner has an idea of, okay, here's why they set it here. This is going to give us the most accurate information. We come back 48 hours later to retrieve the equipment, and we get those results instantaneously so we can talk about them in person.
So what level would you say is acceptable, and then, what level does there need to be some action taken?
Absolutely. So the EPA's action level is a 4.0. Now, what most people don't take into consideration, this is just a side note, if you take whatever your radon reading is, times that by 2, and that's how many cigarettes per day on your lungs that is without you knowing it. So if 4 is the EPA action level, that's the equivalent of 8 cigarettes per day on your lungs. That's also the equivalent of 100 chest x-rays, and your doctor's office will typically only give you a few per year. So that amount of difference in radiation is huge. So there is no safe level of radon. Of course, we want to see it. The lower it can be, most certainly would be the better.
And I've heard that it can change seasonally too. So even if somebody tested their home, say in winter, and it was below that action level, then it really wouldn't be a bad idea to check it again maybe in the summer, because it could actually be over that 4
Absolutely.
level.
So the EPA says to test your home every 2 to 3 years. Now, seasonally, we can see that jump. Peak winter, peak summer. Those are our 2 seasons where we're going to yield the highest radon readings. Typically in peak summer and peak winter, kind of like I mentioned before, we're keeping our homes closed up. Whether it's keeping our warm air in, cold air out, or vice versa for summertime, keeping our cool air in and the warm air out. As we keep everything closed up, we also see the 3 main factors that play into how our radon draws in and out of our home: humidity, temperature, atmospheric pressure. Those 3 things are paramount to understanding how it draws in and how that draws out of our homes. So typically this time of year we do see a lot of fog, a lot of rain. Our humidity is extremely high in the winter as well as peak summer. So those are another reason why that's higher during those times.
So if somebody tests and they do have a higher level, what would be the next steps? How do we take care of that problem?
Yeah, if you do have elevated levels of radon, absolutely it can be fixed. It can be taken down to a level to where it gives you ease of mind. The air that you breathe in your home is safe. A mitigation system is a permanent fixture to a home. Now, when a radon mitigation professional comes in to mitigate a radon elevated issue, it does depend on the size of the home as well as the type of foundation, crawl space or slab foundation, and that would kind of give us an idea. We can get into that at another time. That's kind of a can of worms when it comes to mitigation, but
put the mitigation system in, it eliminates the problem.
Yep, it's a permanent fixture to your home. Within 48 to 72 hours, those levels should be down significantly to a safer level. Yeah.
So, my takeaway from this conversation
Let's hear it.
Is that, guys, radon is a serious health concern, okay? If you're one of my clients, obviously I've recommended radon testing when you purchased your home. But if you're not sure if your home has been tested, or maybe it's been a few years and it'd be good to retest, please do it. Please take this seriously as a call to action.
Yeah, even if you just have questions, I would love to answer any questions that you have, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a current homeowner, a potential homeowner, or you're in the process of getting pre-approved and you just kind of want to have an idea of what inspections are coming up, which your agents obviously do a fantastic job and make sure that they educate you on those factors. But if you do have those extra questions, I would love to hear from you. I would love to answer those questions for you, just to help really educate our community one family at a time, so we can help in just our overall education for our community and really just make a difference.
All right, I will post all of Rachel's contact information and let us know if you guys have questions.
Excellent. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Have a great day.